last I have time to play dice. You feel like rolling a few tonight?
Split myself in two to
Going
get
to
it.
humiliate myself a second
Must be
time.
a sign.
I reckon you're right.
I saw your likeness just the other day too.
Really? Not
People are
where?
always asking me if you're looking for help, but they're never good enough.
I don't want some good I need someone who's capable and has a good head on his shoulders. And most important,
Good day to you. What brings you here?
Father, I need to ask you a few questions.
I don't have time for theological discussions, my son.
That's not why I'm here. My name's Henry, and I wanted to ask about the murder that happened recently. Someone killed and gutted a young maidservant and left her body lying by the city walls. And I hear it's not the first time this has happened.
Another one murdered. May the Lord grant her eternal rest. Why is it you ask?
Somebody is murdering maids here. We have to put an end to it.
Yes, but those poor souls are already at God's side, and revenge never...
I don't want revenge. I want to stop more killing. That's a better reason, isn't it?
True enough. What do you need to know?
One of the other victims was a girl named Yarka. But I reckon you know that, don't you? What can you tell me about her?
About Yarka. She was an ordinary girl. She served the von Groll family.
Where did you know Yarka from?
I knew her since she was a little girl. Knew her family.
And?
I was her uncle. When my brother and his wife died, I took care of her.
Who do you think killed her?
William, that pig of Satan. He gambles in the tavern on All Saints' Day and leads the locals astray. Yarka always went there to listen to music.
Why do you think it was William? Do you have any evidence?
Evidence? He's a skirt chaser, a tool of Satan. He messes with poor girls' heads.
And does anyone else come to mind? No other man spoke with her?
No, absolutely not.
You raised her? A priest with a child?
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm not the first of the clergy to have a child on the side. But at least everyone knew Yarka wasn't my own daughter.
No offense, but how did you know what to do? Without a wife, without a family? I would have been lost.
I was a bit, son. When she was smaller, it was fine, but when she grew up a bit, maybe I was too hard on her.
Why do you think you were too hard on her?
Yarka was an orphan, with no family and no possessions. Her only chance of a good life was a good upbringing. And then, a husband. But the more I led her in that direction, the more she resisted me.
How does that even work? Did you have her with you at the presbytery?
When she was small, I could. But when she grew up, she had to go. It wouldn't look right.
You're well off, though. Couldn't you provide for her?
I couldn't. Even if she had been my very own. More so, since she was my brother's.
But how come?
The church's property always remains the church's. They keep a close eye on that.
How did she rebel against you?
She wouldn't listen. She ran away. She ran around with all sorts. And how did it turn out? She died. And in sin. Such a disgrace.
Disgrace? What the devil are you talking about?
She was pregnant! Even if she had lived, what then? Nobody would want to marry her anymore.
Why don't you respect Lumiere?
That's my business. You needn't concern yourself about that. I won't tell you anything.
Come now, Father. I'm not just asking out of curiosity. This is about all the dead girls. Isn't it written in Scripture, speak up for those who have no voice?
A layman quotes the Bible to me. Fine. Lumiere accused me of her murder.
What?
Yes. He slandered me in public.
And how... What happened then?
It turned out he was deranged. How could he even think such a thing? He's finished in Kuttenberg.
I've heard enough, Father. I'll be going.
Son, I'll give you some good advice. Don't listen to Lumiere. That man has gone completely mad.
God bless you, sir.
Are you Sternad? The one that went with Zdenna?
Who the fuck are you?
Just an ordinary bloke who has some questions.
Well then, piss off. You won't get any answers here. All you're gonna get here is a kick in the teeth.
Why so rash? That kind of attitude will do you no favours. Let's make a deal. You tell me everything you know about Zdenna, and I'll make sure you're no worse for wear.
Ah. You're the lord what that whore robbed. Don't worry about it. She weren't nothing but a lying bitch.
So, if I understand correctly, we can make a deal?
For the right price, I'll tell you all I know.
Is this the right price?
You fucking bet it is. Ask away and I'll tell you everything.
What can you tell me about Zdenna?
What do you want to hear? I try to keep her out of trouble, but there's just no helping some women.
So you were taking care of her?
Well, just in front of the others. Other than that, she did what she wanted. Always made her mind up and did things her own way.
So you weren't too fond of her?
Not really, no. But she did have a knack for making coin.
Where can I find Zdenna?
Aye. That's what I like to fucking know too. Last time I saw her... Well, that'd be back when she managed to fleece you.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to find her.
I can well imagine. Well, she went to Ravstein Mill. It's quite a long ways away. She had some unfinished business with some bloke called Pint. Ain't nobody seen her since then.
Did she have any friends or lovers who'd know more? Did anybody come here to see her?
Who come to see that bitch? She was always off somewhere, seeing someone. Although, once...
Someone came to see her?
Well, aye. Some stuffed frock came here once. All old and decrepit. He said he had some job for her. That she should leave behind her sinful life and all that shit. But he left empty-handed. She told him to go to hell.
Do you know who that priest was?
Some fucking Prokop or Pravoslav or some such shit. But that reminds me. I saw her a couple of times with another bastard. That fucking bard, William.
And could she have run away with this bard, William?
With that lily-livered fop? Well, he ain't been seen in town for some time, but I think someone was out to get him. He still don't come here no more. He plucks that loot of his in the miners' tavern. The wee shit.
What do you know about this priest?
Not much. Seems they knew each other from before, and he had some job for her somewhere, serving as a maid or something. But she weren't stupid. She told him to fuck right off.
And did he go?
Aye, indeed. He didn't look like the kind of fella that had knocked some sense into a woman. I think he just told her if she changed her mind to come and see him, or some shit like that.
And could she have changed her mind and gone to him? And that's why nobody's seen her?
No, no. She took off. I'm sure about that.
I've heard enough.
I'm sorry.
I'm telling you, there's something off about that damn gamekeeper.
At your service, sir.
One last beer, he says.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry. I wasn't paying. Greetings.
I'll have a look at your wares.
What was I just thinking about?
Good day to you. God bless you, sir.
your service, sir.
Tell me, how did you end up here? And what do you do here?
Chenyek pulled me out of the ditch and offered me a new life. Literally. I've been helping him with his the thing he's doing.
You say that like it doesn't matter to you one bit.
Chenyek matters to me. He's a great friend, and I owe him a lot. I believe what he's doing is right.
So you just do what he tells you?
Pretty much. And since I've been doing it, my life has been so much better.
Don't you have some plans and aims of your own?
When Chenyek gets what he wants, I'll open my own tavern. Until then, I'll be at his beck and call.
You don't seem to have many opinions of your own, do you?
What good would they do me? Everything Chenyek says makes sense to me. At least the parts I understand. So why come up with something of my own?
Tell me more about the guild.
Look, I'm not much of a talker. You should ask Chenyek. All I can tell you is that we're a good bunch of nice people. Poor, but kind.
See you later, my friend.
My respects.
What do you have for sale?
I was glad to be of help. How can I help you today, friend?
Did Estanya work here?
Stanya? Maybe. It depends on who's asking.
My name's Henry.
Names don't interest me. The main thing is whether it's a good guest or a bad guest asking. What kind of guest are you, Henry?
Hey, where's that beer?
Just like you want.
I'm a good guest.
Really? Let's see. Do you know how to recognize a good guest?
By the fact he spends a lot of coin?
Aye. I like talking to them kind of guests. A lot. So, what'll it be, my good man?
What if I simply paid you and you tell me what I want to know?
Ask away.
I want to know if Stanya worked here.
She did. And she don't know more. What's it to you?
I heard she disappeared without a trace. So I'm trying to find out if anyone had anything to do with it.
It's possible. The chamber she was sleeping in here was totally ransacked. The door open. Everything emptied out. And Stanya was gone. All I found were bloody footprints.
How did Stanya's room look?
The door was wide open. Most of her things were gone, but some remained. And there was blood all over the place.
Blood? Was there a lot?
Not so much, really. More like hand or footprints. But they were near everywhere. If someone done her in, they definitely didn't do it in that chamber.
Tell me something else.
First, you'll have another beer. Or is it time to pay?
What?
If you want to ask, you have to drink. Didn't you get that?
You're quite the extortionist.
I prefer to be called an enterprising man of trade. So, what'll it be?